What's up, everyone? It's Tech Trooper 64, and today here is my Sony PlayStation at E3 2017 press conference predictions. Now, I am pumped for Sony and what they will be showing for PlayStation, because last year, if you guys remember, they showcased a little bit of what PlayStation VR is going to get, and then after that whole PlayStation VR thing, they just went, bam, here's a new game, bam, here's a new game, bam, here's a new game, bam, here's a new game. They kept announcing games back to back, and now is the time for them to show off when those games are going to come out. Of course, they opened with God of War, and that was exciting, so I can't wait to see what they got hidden behind closed doors. So, without further ado, let's start with the first prediction. The first prediction will be Spider-Man for PlayStation 4 will be shown, and will be finally be shown as a gameplay live demo being played on stage. The game will get its own special PlayStation 4 Pro bundle, which will be a Spider-Man themed PlayStation 4 Pro. It'll be launching later this year, and the game will come to both PS4 and PS4 Pro later. The second prediction I have is that God of War 4 will be shown once again, and we'll have a live gameplay demo, just like last year, and this time they will have a release date. Unfortunately, I think the game will be delayed to 2018 because of that rumor that we heard, and I mean, like, it's pretty much inevitable that it will be, considering that God of War is a game that they put a lot of effort into, so I wouldn't be surprised if it did get delayed. The third prediction I have is actually more of a a riskier one. It's a bold prediction, so I don't know if it's going to happen, but I think Sony will announce this in order to compete against Microsoft and the Xbox Scorpio, because Sony and Microsoft have always responded almost immediately when the other company has something to say. Like, for example, when Microsoft introduced the Xbox One S as its first Xbox One console revision to upscale to 4K, Sony was like, okay, we're going to respond to that by releasing the PS4 Pro and the PS4 Slim. So I mean, like, that's kind of how they responded to that. And then when it came to Xbox Game Pass, that was a response to PlayStation Now, albeit it was a very long response, but it was still a response nonetheless. So it's pretty much fair to say that both of them kind of respond to each other's moves. So I think Sony will introduce either one or the other. I don't know if it's going to be one or the other, but I think it's going to be one but not the other. I said that like 3 times, but that's kind of what I'm trying to emphasize. So the first thing I think they might do is they might introduce a PlayStation 4 Pro Slim, a cheaper PlayStation 4 Pro that can do everything that the Pro does, and I would like to add on that it will be able to play 4K Blu-rays, and it'll be available for $299. Sorry, I should probably mention that. $299 for the new PS4 Pro, or they might introduce a regular PS4 Slim, which is slimmer than the one we saw last year. It'll be only $200 and will be available to upscale in 4K, and will have a 4K Blu-ray drive. I think that Sony sees that they made a mistake with the Blu-ray drive, and I think they will introduce a new model, whether it's the Pro Slim or a slimmer PS4, that will introduce the 4K Blu-ray. Now, one thing I was going to say as a prediction, and I kind of took it out, but I think it's worth mentioning as an honorable mention. I was going to say that Sony is going to introduce a competitor against the Nintendo Switch, and is going to introduce a PlayStation 3 portable, if you know what I mean, like a PS3 portable, because now that the PS3 is kind of dated, and now they can make the chipset of the PS3 in a very small form factor, I think that's their best bet, and they might introduce that. I was going to say that, but then I thought to myself, and I was like, I think Sony, if they wanted to introduce something like that, they might do it in a separate conference, kind of like when they introduced the PS4 Pro last year. I could be wrong. They might still do it, but who knows? The fourth prediction I have is that Destiny 2 will have a major presence at the conference. New gameplay will be shown, and Sony will show off a new PS4 Pro white bundle, similar to the original PS4, getting 2 Destiny bundles in its lifetime. being white and will be stylized with Destiny 2. Part of this prediction, I'm also saying that Star Wars Battlefront 2 will also be getting its own bundle for PS4 Pro, and it'll be like a Star Wars stylized PS4. I don't know exactly what kind it'll be, but that's how I see it. I think it's going to be like that. And before you get mad saying, oh, but isn't that 2 predictions? No, I decided to put it in this one because my next prediction, my 5th and final one, you'll see why I decided to keep it as the last one, and I wanted to keep this. My 5th and final prediction, Sony will show, finally, gameplay footage of The Last of Us Part 2 being shown on PlayStation 4 Pro, and it won't be available this year, but it will be launching on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 4 Pro in summer 2018. Now, the reason why I say summer is because the first Last of Us launched for PS3 during the summer of 2013. So, to me, that's not a huge stretch to imagine that they might release it in the same time frame. Anyway, guys, that's what I think are my top 5 Sony predictions at E3 2017. Let me know in your comments down below. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm wrong? And if there's any predictions you're looking forward to, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for more updates and news on the PlayStation conference at E3 2017. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.